is Mikey Sorboro. My title is founder, and the business is Mikey's Late Night Slice. So the idea of Late Night Slice came from my first little business, and I didn't even know it was a business at the time. It was like a little side hustle. And it was these 5 pedicabs, little human-powered bike taxis that I bought in like 2007, 2008, and we used to run around in the short north, taking people around from the bars and the restaurants at the end of the night. I kept hearing like, hey, where's a pizza by the slice in this city? There was a hole in the market, and realizing that there just wasn't a lot of late night options. We weren't in the transportation or pizza business. We were kind of in the late night services business. We used to project movies on the wall, and it was just this funky little shack in the middle of a dark parking lot in the short north. It was just one of the things that really attracted people to it. We have awesome pizza. We've won best pizza in Columbus, first place best pizza in Columbus, something like a dozen or 13 times now. I would say what makes us different within pizza, we're not going to compete on pizza, which is really kind of funky, but stay with me here. We decided a long time ago we're not going to compete on those levels, and we're going to take the world's favorite thing and we're going to compete on everything around it. Our brand, our voice, being open later than most people, being very unique with just slices. All these levels that we compete on around pizza, but we decided not to compete on pizza. What does it mean to me to be an entrepreneur? For me, I'm at heart a creative. And what I've learned through owning this business for 16 years now is that what I really am passionate about is creating spaces that people in my community can be really proud of. And they want to take their friends and their family to. And from traveling all around the country, I worked at a bunch of really fun different restaurants. I learned that like people come for experience and they want to have fun when they go out. And it's fun to just be a little risky. It's fun to be a little tacky. We always say at Late Night Slice, if we can walk the line between trashy and classy, it's brilliant. You don't want to be too like fart jokey. You don't want to be too buttoned up, because then you just fall into what I consider who gives a fuck. You know, I just fill our restaurants with things that I think are cool. I got obsessed with restaurant interior design and just been like, this is cool. Like, who put a lot of effort into finding all this shit, putting it all together and finding cool stuff to put in restaurants and making this amalgam of something that's really unique to not only our industry, but our community. And that's what Late Night Slice is. It's fun, it's playful, and it takes the world's favorite 2 things, pizza and alcohol, and it meshes them together in a really cool box. So I have my pizza party shirt on, because we throw a pizza party every night. When was the last time you saw a music video for the song that you're hearing in a restaurant? It's either been 20 years or never. So to be able to see that and engage with the visual part of music is not only unique, but it's really important to us. And how often do you see people just like enthralled? We want people to have fun with it. When they walk into a Late Night Slice, I want people to take pictures of something they found that's cool, like a piece of eye candy, a piece of art on the wall, something that is unique and they haven't seen before. They'll hopefully share them, and that word of mouth advertising for us is the best thing. I would say the business side of starting the business was the hardest thing for me, because I like to pick out wallpaper and cool neon signs and lighting and tables, you know, like all the things that the guest can touch. That's my realm. The hard thing for me was running a business. And that's where I lucked out, where my partner in this, my best friend from high school, he joined me very early on. So I think we very much complement each other, where I excel splendidly where he doesn't care, and he excels splendidly where I don't. My hope to make sure that Late Night Slice can hold its own. Coming out of COVID, we've made it through the hardest thing that restaurants will ever have to go through. And now it's time to take this thing that we've been growing as something more than a regional concept and making it bigger than that. We got a Dayton store opening up, Polaris, and we're looking really hard in Cleveland. But now with the opportunity to be like on Ohio State campus and part of student life there, that's so important to us. You know, we've really tried to take our whole like guest life cycle and make sure we're a part of every part of it. We want to be part of your life. Going to college immediately after high school, I think, is a mistake for the majority of people, unless you're dead set on what you want to do and the education you need for that. The better thing to do is to travel the world. It's a giant, awesome world out there, and you're going to be a different person than you were after you get done going on trips. You're never, ever going to regret world travel. So go spend a year just seeing what there is to see. Get obsessed with something. You don't know what you're passionate about in that time between high school and college. Dive into these wormholes of stuff you're interested in. My best advice is if you don't know what you want to do, college is the worst place to find out what you want to do. I would say the older you get, the more responsibility you pile on top of yourself and the harder it is. You might seem like you have a lot of pressure right now, but in the grand scheme of like adulthood, you have so many benefits right now. And freedom means maybe not financial freedom, but you'll make that back. There's so much to see out there, and it's not that expensive. You just got to be a little bit savvy. And not only that, you'll see cool things and you'll be like, that could work in Columbus. And that's how I got my start.